Well, hi folks, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel. I promised you before that I would be uploading a video that dealt with protecting the paint, PPF, film protection, ceramic coating, and this is that video. It's my third video now, and thank you so much first of all to all of you who have both watched the previous videos and commented. I've tried as far as possible to answer every comment, even the nasty ones, but I do love the feedback, so please do continue. So from the first day that I set foot in the Vancouver showroom and saw my first Model 3, I knew two things for certain. Number one, I wanted red, and I wanted it badly. And number two, I was going to have to protect that paint with whatever it took. Now at that point, my understanding of paint protection was pretty basic, pretty rudimentary. I knew that there was some kind of a film you could put in the car, and they called that wrapping. I knew that there was another protection strategy called ceramic coating, ceramic nano coating. I had no idea what that entailed. I just knew it sounded pretty high tech, and that's me, tech lover. So I decided, like the rest of you I guess, to jump onto YouTube and to look at video after video that dealt with wrapping and protection of paint and ceramic coating and detergents. And at the end of a few days I came out a lot more knowledgeable, and I realized that there were two major obstacles standing in my way. Number one, the bank manager. Here's me practicing my groveling techniques. Number two, Dragon Lady, aka Janine. All I wanted from her was a big thumbs up. I actually asked her to give me a thumbs up. She had no idea why, so sorry, Janine. So at that point I realized that we'd have to move into the strategic part of the game. So first of all, I enlisted the help of Crazy Joe. How many dead bodies can you fit in a Model 3 trunk from OC Detailing? Well, you don't remember that? Really? Watch this.
So you get a lot of room back here where you could actually, you could fit pretty much anything in there. 4 sets of golf clubs, a dead body, or 3.
I decided that Joe's first video on the Model 3 that came into his shop and the wrap experience was one Janine needed to see. And we watched through it, and at the end, it culminated with those famous 6 words. And the Model 3 is done!
Hi, I'm Joe with OC Detailing, and the Model 3 is done!
And by the end of that video, Janine was convinced. So, Crazy Joe, thanks very much. The difficulty, of course, was that Joe was in Fremont, California. Peter lives in Vancouver. So I needed to find a local detailing shop with a good reputation and someone that I could trust. I began searching the internet, searching the forums, Facebook forums. Basically, one name kept coming back. Autowerkes Exclusive. I'd never heard of them. They were in Maple Ridge. It's not all that close to where I live, but it was close enough. Obviously, I jumped onto their website, and I devoured every single page. So, Ken, when people jump onto your website, they do read it. It's good to know. I looked at examples of his work. I looked at the description of the services and the products. And by the time I'd finished reading through the details, I was convinced, A, I wanted Ken to do my car, and B, I needed to have both paint protection film and ceramic coating. I couldn't afford a full wrap, so I had decided to go with full frontal and the rocker panels below and around the rear wheel arches. So I'd have a partial wrap and I would have a complete ceramic coating. So I got onto the phone, set up an appointment with Ken, and met him at his detailing shop down in Maple Ridge. By the way, it's appointment only, so do call him before you come in. Now at this point, I need to divert just for a moment. And this is a picture of Janine's dad. He passed away about 8 years ago, and he was a great father, a great father-in-law. One of the things, though, that always amused me about him was how obsessively fanatical and how detail-oriented he was when he did any kind of a job. Now, he was in air conditioning and cooling systems, and when he went to work, he had a white overall. His tools were spotless. He cleaned the work surface. The floor was clean. In fact, his personal garage was carpeted. I've never seen a person so detail-oriented, so cleanliness-obsessed, and so perfection-oriented as Janine's dad. And I really thought I'd never see the likes again. Till that morning, that Saturday, when I met Ken, and I realized this is almost like, in a good sense, the reincarnation of Janine's dad come back in this fellow, Ken Wilson. But what was really comforting was knowing that Ken was the person that would do the car. He didn't have a staff and a whole bunch of people that he farmed it out to. Ken did it himself, every step of the procedure. So enjoy the rest of it and get to see what goes into protecting and wrapping and coating your car. Can you just run through the steps and the order?
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to foam the car down with an all-purpose cleaner. And what that's going to do is we foam it and rinse it, and that's going to get rid of all of the loose grit off the car before we actually take a wash mitt to it.
Okay.
Because if we trap grit between the wash mitt and the panel, we're going to put swirls in the paint.
So does the foaming cleaner actually lift it off? Or
yeah,
is it,
so what happens, we spray the
or just
foam on,
soften it?
it actually suspends the dirt off the paint, and then we hit it with the pressure washer, and that pulls everything off the paint. And now what we're left with is a clean surface, so when we do go to wash it with a mitt, there's no chance of trapping grit between the mitt and the paint.
So that eliminates the need for a 2-bucket system?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look at any of our wash buckets after we wash, after we foam, the water's pretty much crystal clear after we finish washing. So, and then after that process, then we spray the car down with a product that dissolves any rail dust. So if the car's transported by train, it'll get a lot of metallic stuff on it. It'll dissolve brake dust and dust will fall out. So we'll spray it down with that, let it sit.
Okay, you were telling me that if there is metallic dust or something, it turns purple?
It turns red, yeah.
It turns red.
So you can tell there's actually
So this is something you spray on after you've done the foam cannon?
Right.
Okay.
So we do the foam cannon, rinse it, then we spray this product on, let it sit for about 5 or 6 minutes, pressure wash it off. Then we've got another product that we spray on that's going to help dissolve any road tar. So anything like that, then we pressure wash it
like under
off.
the rocker panels?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we hand wash it. Then if there's still any grit left on the paint, we'll do a light clay.
Right.
Especially if we're doing paint protection film, we always clay underneath where we're going to
And when you say
film.
clay, you're effectively polishing it with that rotating...
Basically, it's just a clay bar. It's almost like Play-Doh, and we use a little bit of lubricant, and we're not using any pressure.
Yeah.
We're just gliding it back and forth, and that'll help shear off any contaminants that are still stuck
And
in
then
the
that
paint.
doesn't damage the high gloss, the clear coat?
That doesn't damage the paint at all.
So once it's completely rinsed, and then I saw you drying it and making sure you're drying in the cracks and the crevices. What is the next
Well,
phase?
once we've done all of that, we're going to bring the car in here. We're going to give it a light polish just to amp up the gloss, and any light swirls or anything that we put in during when I was at the dealership, we'll get rid of that. If it needs heavier correction to get rid of scratches, we'll get rid of that. and then we'll wipe it down with a light solvent to make sure there's no residue left from the polish.
So that the PPF can stick.
Yeah, it'll stick better, and same thing with ceramic coatings. You want it sticking to the paint, not to any residue that's left over. So now it's ready to put paint protection film or the ceramic coating on it.
And in the process, I saw that there's a whole lot of, it looks like soapy solution that you spray underneath it. Is it just regular soap, or is it?
Yeah, it's just, we use baby shampoo.
Okay.
A little bit of baby shampoo.
I was thinking it was a high-tech formula.
Nope,
you know,
just baby shampoo and water. That's all. You just want enough under there to
so you can still slide it and manipulate it.
And then we just spray it on top for a little bit of lubrication when we're squeegeeing it out.
Right.
So.
Okay.
The only downside to this is that, you know, when you mess up in this industry, it
costs you
money.
Oh.
It's not like when you're doing a coating and you mess up a panel, you can just polish it and reapply it. Like every time you burn a panel, this is going to be a couple $100 at my cost. It's a thinking man's, like, not everybody can do it. So this film's got a cap sheet on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel it off because we can't cut through it. Some guys will cut through it, but I usually just peel it off first.
Yeah.
So we'll just run this out. So we know we need 90 inches, so we'll go another foot past that. Just like everybody's got their own way to do it. The plotter's just the coolest thing watching it work.
Oh yeah.
You never get tired of watching it, especially when you're doing a bunch of little
pieces.
Guys it's so fast.
Who do sign making, and it's pretty similar, you know?
Yeah. So we get that out. I mean,
is it cutting yet?
Yeah, it's cutting. You can see
oh my goodness.
And what we'll do is we'll go downstairs and we'll weed all the excess film off.
Okay.
So you just see those template pieces, and then we pull them off the backing sheet as we need them. There you go.
So this must put it through very precisely.
Yeah.
To the millimeter.
Yeah. Yeah, because that bumper's 9 feet long.
Yeah.
It'll start in one place, it'll come back, and it'll line up. There's a handy trough right there. We'll just trim that in.
And then when it came to the ceramic nano coating, I saw you polishing the rest of the car as well.
Right.
And that's so that before you apply this coat, you've got it as smooth as you can.
Yeah, exactly. You want to get rid of any scratches. I mean, the coatings are long term. The one we put on your car is warranty for 3 years.
Right.
So there's no point in locking in any scratches and swirls. We want to get rid of all that and then get it as glossy as we can before we put the coating on. Nice thing for you is going to be when you go to wash it, it's going to be so easy to wash.
And that helps repel water as well, so the water beads and falls off?
Yep. Yeah, it is fairly hydrophobic.
So a lot of questions that I see on the Facebook groups are the benefits of either ceramic coating compared to PPF. So if you were to advise someone which would be the one to go for, what would you suggest?
Well, obviously the perfect scenario is going to be to put the paint protection film on to stop any damage from debris and rocks and things, and then coat everything with the ceramic coating So it's going to do two things. It's going to help the panels on the car that don't have paint protection film are going to be protected from environmental damage, but it's also going to help the paint protection film last longer as well.
Right.
If they don't have a budget for both, paint protection film always
would be the primary
would
one.
be the primary one. Yeah, because even though it's expensive, it's cheaper than painting, and they can purchase over the counter a lot of very good products to help reduce the damage from environmental stuff.
As they maintain the car.
And apply it themselves. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So when they talk about self-healing, does that mean that if the PPF got some kind of little scratch, you
Yeah.
can actually get that to disappear?
Yeah, exactly. The self-healing, what it's going to do is it won't self-heal from scratches per se, but if
Okay.
you put any fine lines in it and swirls from washing it,
Oh, right,
that kind of
right.
damage will self-heal whether you put it out in the sun.
And
pour
it'll
some
still
more
look as
on
good
it.
as the day it was applied.
Yeah, exactly. Use a
Okay.
heat gun, whatever. It'll get rid of it. But
Right.
actual scratches, I mean, the self-healing coating is it's very thin. So
Okay.
anything from wash and do still take care of. But if you actually scratch it, it's not going to come back from that.
Okay. I'm going to be uploading another short video to follow this one because I'm going to visit Ken and I'm going to ask him specifically, what is the best way to care for a car that has just recently been wrapped and coated? What are the materials? What are the detergents? What are the cleaning materials? What are the procedures? How do we make this protection last as long as we can, given that we pay a lot for it and it's worth it? But how do we ensure that we protect it and make sure it endures? Thanks for watching the video. If you've not yet subscribed to the Model 3 Man channel, just click the subscribe button below. There's a little notification bell on the right. Tap on that, and at least you'll get to hear the instant that we do upload new videos. And there's a lot more to come. You guys have been a fund of ideas. I've loved interacting with you, and I'm going to be publishing some details on what's coming up next very shortly. Thanks again.